Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem. And you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we'll be going over tonight's 6-game NBA slate, also talking a little bit of MLB. Now, it's funny because we don't have the main slate in MLB today is going to be a 4-game slate. I think that starts at 7:10 Eastern time. So we've got some all-day stuff going on, and we're going to definitely be providing that content for you first thing in the AM, right around the time you start watching this video. But our primary focus will be on the higher dollar buy-ins, the higher dollar tournaments on that main slate that starts at 7:10. That is the first pitch is going to be going out then. That's where we're going to be putting the most of our focus as we speak about MLB just a little bit. But it is still NBA, and we are still rolling, bro. We are moving into the home stretch of the playoff race. Saw some really good basketball. It was funny because tonight, the game that we thought was going to be a game where the Boston Celtics were going to be trying to defend that first seed they had going into the playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we also really felt like, in the Golden State Phoenix game, the Suns were just going to lay down and just, they were just going to get trampled by the Golden State Warriors. We didn't have to see big performance from any of those guys, and that is not what happened. It was kind of vice versa. The Golden State Phoenix game was kind of a game, and the Cleveland Boston game was never a game. And it was bad. It was very bad. But had some really nice wins in the sweatshop tonight, man. Shout out to everybody that did their thing. But I'm going to highlight a couple of guys. We're going to go with our regular format of the show, where we're going to talk about the core four. Now, I issue out a core four for NBA as well as MLB. We're going to talk about those, see how those did. Also, we're going to go ahead and jump into the feature four plays. Those are some really solid plays we saw. We talked about those a lot in the sweatshop tonight. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And then after that, we will be breaking down the 6-game NBA slate we do have for tonight, as well as talking a little bit of that main slate MLB. That 4 games, we're going to be talking about that. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First things first, big shout out to the homie in the DFS Sweatshop VIP, the homie Courtney Smith, man. He says, I've cashed in MLB every day this week. I don't consider myself a baseball guy. It's just predictive analytics. Now, and that's just, I wanted to show you that you don't have to be a big time, a guy that just knows everything about MLB in order to get into the sweatshop with us in cash, man. This is a guy very knowledgeable at basketball, had a really solid basketball season, is moving over, transitioning into MLB with us, and is having a very solid showing to begin with. So that is how we're doing it, man. It is an altruistic movement. We are helping each other. Guys like this, one of the solid guys in the sweatshop, really, really working to make the other guys around him better at basketball, and it's coming back to him because those guys who he helped out in basketball know about MLB. So it's really awesome to see, man. Great stuff there. Shout out to the homie Courtney Smith. Now, we also had a major sweat last night in the shop. We had one of the homies, SL Mooring, was in first place in the 100K Wednesday NBA Jumbo Layup Tournament, man. As you can see, he had, 4 entries, I think 3 entries, to 1, 2, 3, and of course the one that's supposed to be over here. 4 entries in that mug, man, and went out and at one point was sitting here in first place in this tournament and ended up finishing second and took home. You see the number there, man. Really solid showing for this guy, man. Awesome showing. Was one of the really cool guys in the sweatshop, man. Has been with us for quite some time. This is awesome. This is why, brother, this makes me believe. Stuff like this, like that right there. It makes me believe, man. Awesome showing for you. You are tonight's king of the DFS Sweatshop. Big shout out to the homie SL Mooring for taking home 10 racks, taking that money back from the Sharks. That's what this is all about. If this is what you want, come fuck with us. Come join us. This is how we're doing it. This is what we're doing. Major shout out to the homie SL Mooring, man. Salute to you, king of the DFS Sweatshop tonight. And now I think it'll be a good time to go ahead and jump to my core four review. Every day I issue out, core plays, and I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I do this because I want the guys that rolling with me, the guys in the shop, to know, yo, I'm an honest dude. Whether I win or whether I lose, I'm gonna tell you exactly who I'm playing. That's just the way I do it. That's just me. I like to be an honest, transparent guy. And we started this core four out. As you can see, my mainstay, the guy that I had in most of the lineups that was in the core four, because not every lineup is going to have everybody from the core four in it. Not every one, but these are the building blocks that I usually use. And you never see a lineup with less than two of them, which is one of them. Never. But LeBron James headed off this list, man. Had a really solid game up. I believe he scored 60 plus DraftKings points. We had Danilo Gallinari over here with a pretty decent game from him. Got over 30. Was at about 5x value. We had Kevin Love. Decent game from him. And Avery Bradley, bro, shit the bed for me tonight. Now, using a perfect lineup strategy, I took a shot on Avery Bradley, thinking that he would be, one of countless other shooting guards to take advantage of the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he is the only one to date that didn't make value and have a good game. So that's what it is, man. Things like that happen sometimes. It still was a very decent night for me, as well as for most of us, or a lot of us in the DFS Sweatshop. So big shout out to everybody that came up with your own core four, whether you used mine, no matter what it was, as long as you stuck to a solid core of plays, that's what it's about. That's what the whole process is about. Sticking to your core plays, no matter what you listen to throughout the day, no matter what major site you read up on, no matter what happens. If you wake up in the morning with four guys that you really like, that you are going to play, stick to them. Because guess what? At some point, you're going to be correct. You're going to be so correct that you're going to do what the homie did a few slides ago. You're going to take home that 10 racks and finish second place in a large tournament. So just stick to your bankroll management. I spoke to a guy today. Man, I bet it all, man. You don't do that. You don't do that. It's a very long MLB season, man. We've got 160 some odd games. There's no reason to throw it all in. We don't want you to keep depositing. We want you to withdraw. And the only way that you can always be able to show up for your withdrawal is if you don't bet it all in one night. Take it slow. Slow and steady wins the race, baby. Be profitable. Some of us can make millions. Many of us can be profitable. Not all of us can make millions, but many of us can be profitable. So let's go ahead and jump into the feature for plays of the night. These are the four most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, and as well as on Twitter. But first, I think that we need to get into the MLB Core 4. I did issue out an MLB Core 4, and this is what it was, right? Now, I knew all day long that the only pitcher that I was really looking at was going to be Chris Sale. Like, he was the only guy that I really looked at. And, I had him all over FanDuel as well as on DraftKings. So I had him in there, had a very excellent game. I think, all of the pitchers that were high dollar really didn't, kill it. We had some low dollar pitchers that really went off, but Chris Sale had a very decent showing. So I think he got almost 30 DraftKings points. That was very solid. I had Steven Souza Jr., who was in a matchup that I really did like. I had Freddie Freeman, who did not get a hit. Also Giancarlo Stanton, who did not get a hit. And I had D. Gordon, who had a pretty decent game. And as you can see, the core four is really 5, because I count 2 players from my favorite stack as 1. And that is D. Gordon and Giancarlo Stanton. Now, in my Miami stacks, I had quite a bit of all of the guys. And this is the only one that didn't play well. So I was still able to cash with my Miami stacks. So it was not a bad night at all. I actually made a couple of bucks. Freddie Freeman, man, not a great showing from him. He's somebody that I don't even like him today in the matchup that he's in today. I'm not on him at all. But Steven Souza Jr., man, he should have had a much better game. I mean, these guys, especially Stanton, he had 3 fly balls to the warning track, bro. I mean, I'm talking 10 feet from me taking all the money. So it's all good. We live and we learn, man. Still a profitable day. That's all that matters. Let's go ahead and jump into that feature 4 plays. The first of tonight's feature 4 plays is going to be the Who Dat, scoring all them points over there, player of the night. And the reason why I'm making you tonight's Who Dat, scoring all them points over there, player of the night, is because we ain't seen you in so long, brother. How you been, man? It's good to see you back out there again, man, doing your thing. Awesome, man. Very good game from you, man. Solid game from you, Kyle. Kyle Lowry, the Who Dat, scoring at all them points over there, player tonight, went out at 7.5K in salary, 0.8% owned in most tournaments. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with him, including me. brought back 53.75 DraftKings points. He played 42 minutes. They said he was gonna see, and this is the weirdest shit. This is the weirdest shit because they said, "Yo, Kyle Lowry is gonna be playing tonight, not gonna have a minutes restriction." They said the same thing about, "Oh, Brandon Ingram is gonna be playing tonight. He's not gonna have a minute restriction." So Lowry plays 42. Brandon Ingram plays 10. Like, that's just how wishy-washy the shit gets, man. The NBA shit, I'm so glad it's MLB season and we get like solid, real news that we can actually use. But 27 points, 5 boards, 10 assists, knocked down 2 3-point shots, and got 2 steals. Very good showing tonight. And that is why tonight you, Mr. Lowry, are the who that scoring on points over there player of the night. And it's a funny story because I had 3-point guards in mind. Or actually 2. Not including him. I had 2-point guards in mind coming real close to lock. I was like, yo, I like Kemba because he's at home, but I love Goran Dragic. And then I get the notification, oh shit, Lowry's playing. I was like, damn, I should just say fuck it and play Lowry. I don't need nobody else gonna play him. I played Dragic. So I still did well. He got about 46 DraftKings points. He got a little bit more and at less ownership, but I'm glad I didn't play Kemba because Kemba shat the bed. Next play we're gonna talk about is the how did I miss that play of the night? Steph Curry. Now, I'm going to tell you how I missed this play. Number one, the dude is 10K. And I thought this game was going to blow out. So I was definitely mistaken in that regard. But the thing that should have kind of put us on him a little bit more was the fact that we knew we were not going to see Draymond Green. And we know that Draymond Green is the glue. He is the motor that keeps that team running. So if there's any situation where you think that Steph Curry might have to play 30-plus minutes and that he's going to have to do the bulk of the scoring as well as, be more of a facilitating force as far as, running the point guard position the way it's supposed to be run. Because, Draymond does a lot of those things. Rebounds, points, assists. Points being the least that he cares about. He cares more about rebounds, defense, blocks. He cares more about those items, assists, than he does about points. So without Draymond Green, on the court, and then without a guy like Andre Iguodala, that should have told me, man, that Steph Curry was gonna have to, do more, just do more, whatever it may be. He was gonna have to do more in order for them to go ahead and beat this team and blow them out like they did. And I missed on that. I missed it. My bad, Steph. I'm sorry, baby. I missed you tonight. How did I miss that play tonight? So at 10K in salaries, 10K flat, went out and brought back 76.75 DraftKings points. He played 35 minutes, 42 points, 11 dimes, knocked down 8 3-point shots, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 5 boards, while only turning the ball over 3 times. That is an excellent game we saw from you, Steph Curry. And that's why tonight you are the how did I miss that play of the night. The next guy we're going to talk about is the heat check player tonight. And I'm going to tell you like this. It can only go to one person, man. This ended up being a very good game. Halfway through the game, I was like, I'm so glad I faded Russell Westbrook. Good. Because they were kind of blowing him out. The game was going to be out of hand. And I didn't think we were going to see Russell Westbrook in the fourth quarter. Well, that's a motherfucking lie. Because he damn near had a triple-double. 12.7K in salary, 83.25 DraftKings points. And I know when it comes to point per dollar, there's some guys that scored a little bit higher than him. But just the fact that with all the bright lights, all the cameras, everything on this man, with him, actively trying to not only win games, but support himself and pad the stats to make history, the dude still goes out and plays 38 minutes, 45 points, 9 boards, 10 assists, knocked down 8 threes, and also got 5 steals. Now, he turned the ball over 7 times and had a few personal fouls, but still, this was an awesome, elite performance, and they got the win. Tonight, you ain't getting no argument from me. Salute, Russell Westbrook. You'd heat check player tonight, no doubt. I mean, what you want me to say? The dude balled out. He did. And now, we got to talk about you. That one motherfucker who fucked up all the lineups. Joe Snowflake ass. Avery. How does Avery go out at 5.9K in salary and bring back 15.75 DraftKings points in a marquee matchup? This is the game that your team needs to stay in first place. You're going to give up home court advantage by playing like a motherfucking snowflake, ruin all the lineups, just have a horrible game, and to top it off, I know the dude was just coming back off of an injury, or he was sick, had a stomach bug, he had the shits or whatever, but you played 34 minutes. Now, I thought, if you played 4 minutes, I'd be like, oh, damn, He only played 4 minutes. What you want me to do? What you want the man to do in 4 minutes? But bruh, you played 34 minutes, brother. You had 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. You didn't hit no 3-point shots. You got 1 steal. You ain't block no shots. You ain't do nothing. And for that, tonight, you, Mr. Bradley, you a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass, and I ain't gonna roster your bitch ass again. Now let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, popping the top on the slate recognition tip is always a good idea because we've got to have a real good understanding of where we want to place our money, where we want to play, which tournaments do we want to be involved in. Do we want to go through the whole entirety of the full slate, or do we want to break it down in turbos or lates? Now, there's only a 6-game slate on deck for tonight. You see that it starts at 7 p.m., but we do have a couple of other side slates that are actually wrapped up into the 6-gamer. Now we've got a 7:30 turbo that starts at we have a 2-game turbo that starts at 7:30. We've got a 2-game late that starts at 8. Now the 2 games in this turbo are going to be the Washington Wizards and my New York Knicks, and the 2 games in the late are going to be, the 2 games in the turbo are going to be the Knicks and the Washington Wizards in New York, and then the Boston Celtics on the back-to-back going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Now the late games are going to be the Boston and Atlanta game, and then the Minnesota and Portland game. So I think that both of these two are juicy enough. If you want to make something here and throw them bitches in the main, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing that in some spots. So let's go ahead and open this up, and now we're going to jump into some of the player pricing, so we can make some real decisions on who we like, why we like them, and if we want to go in the direction that we are being led on the slate. Now we're going to start, of course, with the highest salary guy on the slate. There's no Westbrook, there's no Harden, there's no LeBron. This is it. We've got Karl Anthony Towns against the Portland Trailblazers going to the Moda Center. That's a play for me, especially Nurkic is gone. There's nobody that's really going to be able to defend Karl Anthony Towns. I'm good with that. John Wall, 9.9 against my New York Knicks. The only thing that would kind of concern me is if the game blows out. I love the spot that Giannis Antetokounmpo is in at 9.8. Jimmy Butler at 9.7. That price is still a little too high for him, man. And and it's not like, well, Robert Covington, he isn't playing or anything, so there's no like perimeter defensive threat that's gonna stop Jimmy Butler. But man, that price just bothers me. That 9.7, bro. He's like an 8K player to me. He's not a 10K player to me. Like, he's a high 8K player to me at the most, at his best. So I just have trouble paying for that. Now Paul George is up in price at 8.9. Any other matchup, I would love him, but you're gonna have to have exposure to Paul George. this team is still trying to make the playoffs. They're still scrapping, so I'm definitely gonna have a piece of that. You can give me all of the Dame Lillard that you want at 8.8. I'm cool with that. IT2 at 8.6. We can attack both of these teams on the perimeter. So I think I would take the discount going against Isaiah Thomas with maybe Dennis Schroeder at 7.8. I think that's pretty fair there. We've got Elfrid Payton, man, against the Brooklyn Nets. That's playable all day long. He's like the only guy on the team that's still playing, and they have no reason to play, but he's still going out there and balling. So I do like him at 7.7. You can give me some Ricky Rubio, definitely at 7.6. I like him. You know how we feel about attacking the Boston Celtics, rebounding the basketball. But the question is, do we use Dwight to do that, or do we go somewhere else? Do we use Millsap, who's going to be playing and getting the full run of minutes? Do we use him? I would much rather do that than use Dwight Howard. Vucevic at 7.4 against Brook Lopez is always a play. I like that. Kristaps is questionable. I hope they don't play. I hope they just sit the rest of these motherfuckers out. The Knicks just sit them out and play all the young dudes. Fuck it. Bradley Beal 7.2 is a player that I'm going to be considering tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing some stacking as well. This is a 6-game slate, so I'm going to still issue out a core of plays that I do like. I'm going to rock with a core, as I hope that you do too. But I will be doing some stacking because there's nobody to pay up for. I can pretty much stack any offense that I want, any kind of way, and I think just enough value to open up to where I can roll out lineups that I'm still going to be happy with. So I do like Bradley Beal. If Paul Millsap does play and we know he's not going to see any limited minutes, I can take a look at him definitely. Brook Lopez is just as good a matchup at 7K against Nikola Vucevic as Nikola Vucevic is at 7.4 against him. I hope that made sense. It did to me. All right. Rajon Rondo at 7K flat. I didn't like him last time, but I kind of like him today if he does play. You can give me some Andrew Wiggins at 7K. I think he wants to finish off the season strong. Also, CJ McCollum is in play definitely at 6.9. Dario Saric, man, he's been on a 24-minute restriction, and if that continues, man, I'm not fucking with it. I just can't. Even though that's a position that you like to attack them at, that power forward or even that small forward position for the Chicago Bulls, even that, and plus they're at home. But if he's on a minutes restriction, I'm not going to play him. Carmelo Anthony, if he does play at 6.6, I'm going to give him to consideration, definitely. Nurkic, of course, is out. Jeremy Lin is in play at 6.5. Aaron Gordon, man, I'm just going to play him and say fuck it. Because dude's been balling out over the last few games. He's been having some really solid point totals. And just to check those out really quick, to check his splits there, let's look at the last few games. Okay, now the last one, 17, that was against Cleveland. Didn't play 32 minutes. Okay, good. And then 35 minutes, 36, 41, 55, 62, and 31.25. That's pretty solid, man. That's pretty solid. I'm going to give Aaron Gordon some consideration, definitely. Jeff Teague is a player that I do like at 6.4. We know that sometimes that Milwaukee defense can be stingy to the point guard position, but I think the fact that this team is playing for their very playoff lives, they're gonna bring the best out. So I do like Jeff Teague. Al Horford going back to Atlanta. That is a narrative. That is a narrative. I like it. I like him. Gorgie Jang at 6.1 is a player that I'm definitely going to be having interest in. Avery Bradley. This would be a great time to play Avery Bradley because he sucked against the Cleveland Cavs, and nobody's going to want to play him. He's not dead to me. I think I will. He owes me money. I'm going to collect that today. TJ McConnell at 6K flat. Not a player that I'm particularly interested in, even though the Chicago Bulls are very, very nice to the point guard spot. Robert Covington, we know he's going to be out. Mirotic at 6K. He's not a 6K player. I don't like him. Rashawn Holmes deserves consideration, definitely. Chris Middleton is a player that I kind of like at 5.9. I think that is a really good stackable play. With you want to get some Greg Monroe, you want to get some Giannis, you want to get some Chris Middleton. I don't have an issue there. Jay Crowder is a player that I do like at 5.8 if he does play. Evan Fournier, 5.7. I can have a piece of that. TLC, if he's starting at 5.6, I think that's a little bit too much for me, man. I do like Miles Turner at 5.5. And you know that we can attack the Indiana Pacers at that center spot. So that's going to make, whomever is going to be starting at center. Even if it's Thon Maker, but I might take a shot on him at 3K because anybody can get off on Miles Turner in that first quarter. So Hernan Gomez getting a start against the Washington Wizards. If he does, I like him there. No Malcolm Brogdon for me, even if he does start. Ersan Ilyasova, we have to find out what's going on with Millsap. If Millsap is still limited, we can look to Ilyasova. Terrence Ross is a player I kind of like at 5.1. I keep on putting my faith in Otto Porter, and it has not come to fruition yet. Marcus Smart at 5K, not a player that I'm particularly interested in, but I do like Ronnie Hollis Jefferson at 5K. Very solid play there. We know that Derrick Rose, at this point in the season, Derrick Rose feels like he has shown that he can play, and he doesn't want to play anymore because he knows he's not going to play for the Knicks. He's waiting for a contract. He's not hurt. This is bullshit. He's not hurt at all. He just doesn't want to play anymore. And I don't blame him because he's made of glass. And you don't want to take a chance of, not being able to fool another team into giving you a one-year deal like you did the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks. Al-Farouq Aminu at 5K is a player that I do have interest in, as is Courtney Lee. Now, Courtney Lee, I like him more if we don't see guys like Chris Stapps or even Carmelo today. If those guys aren't playing, I really like him. Markieff Morris, this dude is cheap as shit. 4.9, just play Markieff Morris. You got to. Kylo Quinn at 4.9, no. Robin Lopez, don't even say Robin around me. It's dead. Thaddeus Young, I like this play at 4.8. Give me some Greg Monroe, definitely at 4.8. That is my Milwaukee stack right there. That's my listen. This is my Milwaukee stack. Greg Monroe, Giannis, Chris Middleton, and then flip that on the other side with Paul George and maybe some Thad Young and Jeff Teague. I can get all of those guys in a lineup. I like that. Justin Anderson at 4.7. He is in play for me. No Taurean Prince. Bismack at 4.5. Not a player I'm particularly interested in. You can give me some Sauce, man. Sauce has been playing pretty well lately. At 4.4, I think I can get into Sauce. Let's check over his last few games. See what he's working with. 16, 21, 18.3. Seeing solid minutes totals. This team is usually very generous to the shooting guard, man. So you can give me some of that. Yeah, you can give me some of that. I wouldn't mind Sauce tomorrow. Jaylen Brown at 4.3, not a player that I'm interested in. Kent Bazemore is questionable. If he does play, I still don't like him. Monte Ellis at 4.3, no for me. Martin Gortat at 4.2. I am kind of interested in Gortat at 4.2. As a matter of fact, I kind of like that. Sean Long is a no for me. Kelly Olynyk, I do like Kelly Olynyk at 4.1. I can get some of that. Kilpatrick is questionable. Trevor Booker, give me some of that Trevor Booker, man. This is going to be like a high-paced game. This dude always comes off of the bench and has really, really solid games. Let's check over the last three. Excuse me. Let's check the last few games, man. 17, 23.25, and 36.5 over the last three games. That's pretty solid, man. And at 4.1K, I mean, that's cool. I can take that. I kind of like Trevor Booker. It's going to be an up-tempo matchup. You can give me some of that, definitely. Bojan Bogdanovic at 4.1, a play that I kind of do like. I like that play. Lance Thomas is questionable, no. Adam Crabb possibly at 4.1, no Thabo, he's out. Amir Johnson definitely deserves consideration at 4K. Dellavedova is a no for me, unless if we know for sure that we're not going to see Malcolm Brogdon, we can look at Dellavedova in some spots. We can. Ron Baker at 4K, no. I like 3K Ron Baker, not 4K. So Noah Vonleh, yes, at 4K. We can look at him, definitely. Valentine can be in play at 3.9, kind of like that. Bobby Portis as well, 3.9. Shabazz Muhammad went out and had a monster game the last time out at 3.9. If you think the game's going to get away and he's going to have, a fair amount of minutes, you can definitely take a look at him. Mo Harkless is down at 3.9. If he does start, I do like that. No Myers in it for me. Lance Stevenson, haha, that's laughable. Mindaugas Kuzminskas is a no for me, as is. Spencer Dinwiddie at 3.7. Looks like he could be a decent play. I love the spot for Karis LeVert at 3.7. He's one of my favorite young players, bro, and I always say that. Maurice Ndor, if he gets a start, you can definitely look at him at 3.7. That's a solid play. We've got Evan Turner at 3.7 is a no for me. CJ Miles at 3.6. I kind of like that. Let's check out any 3K plays that we do. Who's the 3K play of the day? We've got Mahimi very close. I like that at 3.1, bro. I like Mahimi right there at 3.1. Yeah. Terry Rozier, no. James Young. Gerald Green, nah. Chris Humphries, Jerebko. Nobody I really like at 3K flat, but I can tell you I do like. Now if Isaiah Whitehead plays, we may be able to take a look at him. We may be able to do that. But at 3.1, man, I like Ian Mahimi. He's one of my favorite players. Archie Goodwin at 3K. Randy Foye is very cheap. One of the cheap guys are going to start. It's Randy Foye or yeah, somebody's going to be starting. And probably Randy Foye. We can take a look at him at some spots. Quincy Acey is down at 3K as well, but he's kind of out of that rotation. Him and Nicholson are kind of out of that rotation. I think we've been seeing a little bit more Justin Hamilton. Let's see, who's been getting more minutes lately? Hamilton, he got 12 in the last game. Okay. I know AC might have been hurt for some reason. AC got 12. Minutes per game. 13 in the last game. 16. Who's been getting the most minutes? Because Nicholson was also a part of the rotation at one point as well. So let's check that out. 9, 15, no. Yes, it's slim pickings, man. Aaron Brooks, I think he's somebody you can take as a very deep tournament flyer as well, because he's been getting solid minutes lately. I believe he had a couple good games, I think, in a row. So let's go ahead and check that out. 12, 14, 15. Yeah, he had 28 minutes of time against Memphis and dropped 25 points. Not too appetizing there. 3K plays are hard to come by, bro, especially on a 6-game slate, man, because not a lot of guys are just laying around at 3K ready to really help you win and take down a tournament. So I think the only play that I like, man, I don't like much in the 3K range, but the one guy that I do have a feeling for and about is Ian Mahimi at 3.1. So let's go ahead and pull up those point totals so we can roll through these 6-game slates before we talk just a little bit of MLB. Now, as we've already discussed, it is a 6-game slate that we're dealing with today, which is pretty good for a Thursday. If you remember, throughout the season, we've been seeing 3-game slates, 4-game slates, very small slates. This is the first one that's actually 6 games on a Thursday that I kind of like and I think we can dig into. So I'm going to be making my personal player pool as we go through this. And remember, there is a stack value associated with the 6-game slate, although it is definitely good to rock with a core of plays. We're going to start with the Indiana Pacers at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a 201 point total, with the Indiana Pacers giving up 4 points at home. They're slated to score 102.5 implied team total, with the Milwaukee Bucks at 98.5. So I like that. I like that the total is fairly low. That means we can look to the studs in this game, and especially the higher quality guys. We can definitely take a look at those guys, and some off of the bench as well. But I think my first inclination when it comes to the Milwaukee side is just go ahead and lock in Giannis, Chris Middleton, and give strong consideration to whoever is going to be starting, whether it's Thon Maker at 3K. Bam, 3K play today. We found him. Play Thon Maker. Yo, anybody can get to that dude, to Miles Turner. I would play Thon Maker and Greg Monroe, because both of them cats can have a field day. And you can look at Thon to get 20 points real quick, and let Greg Monroe clean up the rest, because you look at you've got John Henson as a game time decision, Malcolm Brogdon as a game time decision. The only guy that's out for the Indiana Pacers is going to be Glenn Robinson. So I have no issue with going too deep on the Milwaukee center spot. I kind of like that, actually. I do. So those would be the 4 targets I have for the Milwaukee side, rocking with a little stack there. And then on the Indiana side, I like Paul George. And some of these are going to be, the DVPs are going to look like they're not too great, but this is playoff atmosphere basketball, man. You can throw DVP out the window when you got a superior talent like Giannis or like Paul George. So no Miles Turner for me. Jeff Teague is definitely in play. I like Thaddeus Young, and maybe you could talk me into some CJ Miles or Monte Ellis, whoever's going to be starting, which is probably going to be Monte Ellis. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets going to Orlando to take on the Magic. Now, remember, this is the highest point total on the slate. 227 points is what these teams are slated to score against each other as a whole. So let's take a look at that, man, because that's very appealing. Now, the last time the Brooklyn Nets went out, they hung up 140 some odd points. And, a lot of that didn't come from the guys that were starting. We saw, some real help off of the Brooklyn bench. And I think that's going to happen again, because not only is this the highest point total on the slate, but it is a very close spread. The Orlando Magic are only giving up 2.5 points at home against the Brooklyn Nets, who are a very scrappy team. And while both of these teams aren't really playing for anything in the way of the playoffs, they're still trying to play fairly decent basketball. Some of these guys are trying to prove they belong in the league. And let's go and take a look at the Brooklyn Nets side first. Jeremy Lin, yes, he's in play for me. Of course, we can look at Brook Lopez in the spot against Vucevic. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson's a play that we can look at power forward. And I do like Karis LeVert. There'll be no Randy Ford for me. Sean Kilpatrick is a game time decision, while Joe Harris is out, as well as Isaiah Whitehead being a game time decision. So when it comes to the bigs off of the bench, man, the only guy that I like on the Brooklyn side is going to be Trevor Booker. So you could. This is a deep stack, bro. This is a deep stack. This is a very deep stack. I like that. On the Orlando Magic side, Vucevic is in play, definitely matched up against Brook Lopez. Elfrid Payton, yes, we look at him. I don't like Evan Fournier too much, but Aaron Gordon kind of does interest me at 6.5K. And off of the bench, I like Jody Meeks, another 3K play we can rock with. Yes. So we've got 3 guys around 3K that we can look to. We've got Jody Meeks, of course. We've got Jody Meeks. We've got Ime Hemi at 3.1, and then we have the other 3K play from the Milwaukee, Thon Maker. So those are 3 guys you can definitely look at to be very cheap and to possibly get us 20 points. Because on a slate like this, I don't think the slate's going to be very high scoring. If you get 20 points at 3K, you're in business. You definitely are. And a lot of these guys are going to have very low ownership, because people are going to go to the more sexier matchups. They're going to be rostering up. So I kind of like those guys. Next game we're talking about is the Chicago Bulls going to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. This is a 211 point total, with the Philadelphia 76ers getting 6.5 at home. So they are a home dog. You know how I feel about the home dogs. They got a lot of fight. TJ McConnell at 6K. Initially, I didn't really like it. The DVP says it's like, not a great one. It's not mean they're 13th ranked. Is what the Chicago Bulls are against the point guard spot. Now, Rajon Rondo is a game time decision. Dwayne Wade, of course, is out. Robert Covington, Okafor, Sergio, Embiid, of course, Bayless, all of those guys are going to be out. So we're looking again at the Philadelphia 76ers only dressing like 9 guys. Excuse me, 10 guys. They're 10 deep on this entire team. So let's take a look, man. I mean, Rashawn Holmes, the 6K is a little bit too much to get up to. I don't really like him too much, but I can rock with TJ McConnell, TLC, and Justin Anderson. I'm going to curb my enthusiasm when it comes to Dario Saric because we know he's been on that minutes restriction, but he's only 6.7K. And 25 minutes of Saric at 6.7K could be enough for you. So I'm going to pencil him in for consideration, as well as Nick Stauskas off of the bench at 4.4. On the Chicago Bulls side, now they're giving up 6.5 points. It's 108.8 point total. Now, the only way that I'm going to roster Jimmy Butler is if Rondo is out. If Rondo is out, that makes Jimmy Butler the point guard, the shooting guard, and the small forward, and I'm going to get a piece of that. So I do like him there. I think, you're going to have to take a look at Nikolai Mirotic, just because, who else is going to be doing the scoring. Denzel Valentine is going to definitely come into play, as well as Michael Carter Williams. And he's another 3K guy if you don't see Rajon Rondo. So there's some 3K value on this slate. There really is. And even, I don't like Bobby Portis. I'm not on him. No, I don't like Bobby Portis at all. Isaiah Cannon at 3K. The old Cannonball is a deep tournament flyer you might want to look at. So next game we're talking about is my New York Knicks at the crib, defending Madison Square Garden against the Washington Wizards. We're going to see John Wall act a plum fool in New York tomorrow. That is definitely my guess. This is a very bad defense against the point guard position. And then this guy is like an elite talent. So, that automatically puts him in play for me. Even at 9.9, I think we can still get a solid run of minutes from him. Give me some Markieff Morris at 4.9. Also, you want to look at Gortat. I don't have an issue there. Bradley Beal, Otto Porter. No Bradley Beal. No Bradley Beal. 7.2, no Bradley Beal. Because I see other things on the slate that I want to exploit. So Otto Porter could be in consideration for us. I like Ian Mahinmi, of course, at 3.1, and I am now off of Bojan Bogdanovic. So my 5 targets here would be John Wall, Morris, Gortat, Otto Porter, and Ian Mahinmi. On the New York Knicks side, man, we don't know what the fuck is going on. If Melo plays, I like him. I'm going to play him at 6.6 if he does play. Kristaps is a game-time decision. Of course, Derrick Rose is out, as is Lance Thomas is a game-time decision. So if we see Hernan Gomez get a start, we can pencil him in. I like him there. Courtney Lee is a player that I definitely do like. So I would be going 3 deep and stopping on the New York Knicks side with Carmelo, Guillermo, and Courtney Lee. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Boston Celtics going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Instantly, automatically, Isaiah Thomas is their consideration there. They're going to want to get a win after losing to the Cleveland Cavs the way they did last night. And, they're still fighting for that #1 spot. So we can definitely take a look at Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford in the revenge game. The narrative is real. I kind of like him going back to Atlanta. Also, Jay Crowder deserves consideration for us, as well as Amir Johnson. I like nothing off. Well, maybe some Olynyk, maybe. At 4.1, I do like Olynyk. That's as far as I would go on the Boston Celtics bench. This is a 208-point total, with the Celtics projected to score 104.5. We've got a point projection of 103.5 for the Atlanta Hawks, and it is only a 1.5 point spread. So I like that a lot. Dwight Howard, no. Dennis Schroeder, yes. You can give me some. Now, see, Tim Hardaway Jr. is a game time decision, as is Paul Millsap. So is Kent Bazemore. So that's going to open up a ton of stuff. You're looking at guys like, man, looking at Ersan Ilyasova at 5.1 could be in play. You're looking at Gabo is out. Like this team has got a ton of injuries. Taurean Prince, somebody you can look at. So this is gonna be a tough one for the Atlanta Hawks to win with all of those guys missing. So the last game on the slate is the Portland Trailblazers at home defending the Moda Center against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a 218.5 point total. The Portland Trailblazers are giving up 6 points in this matchup, and I think this is the game that everybody's going to have a lot of interest in. It is a 10:30 game, so it is a late night hammer spot for a lot of these guys. Instantly, Dame Lillard jumps off the page for me, as well as CJ McCollum. Al-Farouq Aminu is a player that I do like. I even like Noah Vonleh in the spot, bro. I mean, this is a pure stack, but I don't like anything off of the bench. The only guy that gets consideration from me is probably going to be Evan Turner or maybe some Allen Crabbe. That's it. On the Minnesota side, the big three, of course, is in play. Karl Anthony Towns, Ricky Rubio, as well as Andrew Wiggins. No Gorgie Jang for me. Might like some Chris Dunn off of the bench as well as Shabazz Muhammad. So the player pool, my initial player pool has just been set. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that, or doing that with me as we go ahead and chop up just a touch of MLB. Let's go ahead and get right. Now, as you can see, the MLB slate is very choppy, very choppy. So, we start off, we've got that 12:35 all day slate. That's going to be every game in its entirety. The whole entire slate is going to be there. But the thing is, those are going to be fairly small buy-ins. They're not going to be very big tournaments in there. Where you want to be is probably in the main. So let's go ahead. And then we've got an early slate that starts at 110. That's 8-game slates. There's probably gonna be some solid tournaments in there. Not the bigger buy-ins. Like the main slate buy-ins are not going to be there either. You've got a 4-game turbo that starts at 135. Probably going to be some smaller buy-ins in there, as well as a 3-game turbo that starts at 310. This is the main. This 4-game area right here. This is going to be the main. We've also got a 2-game late slate that starts at 810. So let's go. We're going to open up the all day just to take a look at some plays here and see, who we got and what we're looking at, because I don't think that this is a pitcher friendly slate. This is not a slate where, you're going to have to get one of those high dollar, huge pitchers, because there's just not any on the slate. I'll be looking at it right now. Now, the fact that there's no like bona fide stud ace pitcher on the slate is gonna, automatically lead us to believe that we gotta get really solid batting. So you're gonna see, priced up batters on this slate. That's probably where most people are gonna be looking to. People are gonna be paying down for pitcher. You start off, you got guys like Jeff Samardzija, who I really don't like very much. I would go John Lackey before him. I even like Marcus Stroman just a bit here. There's not a ton, man, to look forward to, because actually all of the A studs already pitched throughout the first couple of days, the opening day. So those guys are already out of the mix. So now we're gonna deal with those second, third guys in the rotation. So you got Jason Hamill, Tyler Skaggs. Not a lot here, man. Joe Musgrove, like, come on, bro. I'm playing Cleveland. I mean Seattle against this dude, man. It's James Shields. James Shields, what? Yo, play all the Detroit guys against James Shields. That dude sucks. Clay Buchholz, no. Like, this is a Shelley slate, bro. There's a ton of Shelleys on this slate. Rookie Davis, there's a ton of Shelleys on this slate. So batting is probably where it's going to be at. Let's go ahead and check out the hitters real quick. See what we got. Mookie Betts, who is day-to-day. We need to find out what's going on with him. You got Paul Goldschmidt. You got Goldie at 5.2. And I think their third game against the San Francisco Giants, Mike Trout at 5.1. Arenado, that's a play I like. I like 5.1 Arenado. Everybody was on Colorado last night, and they fucking stunk up the joint. And I think that's going to take a lot of people off of them, but I love the spot that most of them are in, especially, Arenado, Blackman. I like those guys, man. I'm going to have some, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stack Milwaukee and Colorado a lot, because they're still in Miller Park, probably the most hitter-friendly park on the slate. Definitely think. Well, you saw it last night, man. The Brewers, man, they lit it up, and so I can definitely see rocking with some Milwaukee stacks and some Colorado stacks. That's what I'm going to be rocking. We got Bryce Harper still in Washington against Kohler. That's a pretty solid matchup. He has a hell of a batting history against Kohler, so I think we can definitely use that to our advantage. Jose Altuve against Miranda. That's a pretty solid matchup there. So yeah, man, there's a lot. Trevor Story is down here, 4.7. Price pretty good on him. I like that. Giancarlo Stanton is 4.7 against Gonzalez. We can take him there. So there's a ton of good batting prospects, and we're gonna see a lot of stacked batting teams, because there's just not a lot to pay up for at the pitching spot. There's just not a lot to pay up for. It's not. There's like no bona fide studs on the slate here. So we've got no issue with doing that. And really, let's go ahead and let's look at that 4-game slate just a little bit, just to talk about those 4 games inside of those. Now, first things first, we've got the Braves going to New York to take on the Mets. This is a 7.5 point total. The Atlanta Braves projected to score 3.6, and the New York Mets projected to score 4.3. Now, just automatically, you see this light rain, humidity, 14-mile-an-hour winds going out towards center field. The dew point is at 52, and there's a 67% chance of moderate rain. So there's a possibility that this game might not even play. Could rain out. So we need to be on the lookout for that as well. We've got Jamie Garcia at 7.2, pitching there for the Atlanta Braves, and Matt Harvey for the New York Mets. I think the advantage in this is Harvey, but the Atlanta Braves are a very pesky offense. A lot of guys hard to get out. There's a lot of left-handers in their batting order. We're talking about the right-handed pitcher from Matt Harvey, and you've got Inciarte, you've got Freddie Freeman batting third as a left-hander. You got Nick Markakis batting fifth, and you got Jamie Garcia, the pitcher. The left-handed pitcher is Jamie Garcia. So on the Mets side, you've got Reyes, Cabrera, both of those guys switch hitting. You got Cespedes, a right-handed hitter. So the top of their order, man, is going to be some opposite field type hitters. So I have no issue with rocking a couple of those guys, man. I think a Mets stack is definitely in order in New York. Even with Matt Harvey, the pitcher. I like that. That's probably where I'll be going if this game does play. Next game we're talking about is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays going to Tampa to take on the Rays. No weather concerns here. This is a dome stadium. Yo, have you seen the Tampa Bay Rays stadium? How the dome is kind of low and cats hit the ball, and it's a high fly ball that should be caught for an out, but it hits the top of the ceiling, and then the guy that's trying to catch it can't find it, and it drops right next to him. Like, there's got to be something. What? We lost because of that, man. The Yankees, they beat the Yankees because of that. And that's pretty whack, bro. That's pretty whack. But it's good for them, and that means that you can take a look at these guys. So they have that 10th man on the field, which is actually not on the field but in the ceiling, messing up everything. So we've got Marcus Stroman on the Toronto Blue Jays side, the right-handed pitcher. Corey Dickerson, lefty. Kevin Kierman, lefty. Brad Miller, lefty. Ton of left-handed bats in this order. That's why I do think we can rock with a Tampa Bay stack again tomorrow, kind of like that. As far as on the Blue Jays side, not a lot to love. Blake Snell is a left-handed pitcher. But, I mean, Devin Davis, Josh Donaldson, Jose Batista, all of these guys, big power bats, and you're going to be able to afford them all because you're not going to have to pay up for a lot of pitching. So those are some guys that I do like. Even Tulowitzki, I like him in the spot. There's a few guys that I do like. So I think this is a stackable game as far as batting goes, but I would not invest in the pitcher in either game. 7.5 point total. This game definitely does play because there's no threat of any of the elements coming into play. And I had to deal with that today. Sorry about that. Yo, everybody, I was slated to jump into the VIP and really lay some shit down. But where I'm at in South Carolina, man, we got hit with some heavy rain, thunderstorms, lightning, hail. They sent all of the kids out of school early. So it was a very rough time. I lost power a couple times. Could not get into the midday mix. Thankfully, all my lineups are already set. Shouldn't have to worry about that. And thankfully, my kids and everybody else was fine. So shout out to y'all in the sweatshop, man. Y'all were such great sports about it. A lot of y'all wished me well and said, hey, man, I hope you be all right. Don't worry about it. Be cool. We'll hold it down. And that's exactly what y'all did. So thank y'all in the VIP, man, for having that care and concern for me and my family. So next game we're talking about is at Minute Maid Park. This is another dome game, so we don't have to worry about any rain or anything like that. This is a 8.5 point total. It is the highest point total so far. We've got the Seattle Mariners projected to score 4.1 runs, as well as the Houston Astros projected to score 4.7. We've got on the mound Ariel Miranda, the left-handed pitcher, going for the Seattle Mariners, and we've got Joe Musgrove going for the Houston Astros. So I kind of like some of the Seattle guys, man. Musgrove is a right-handed pitcher. Looking for some left-handed bats in the order. What jumps out to me is Robinson Cano. 4.4 is the price on him. Not bad. We also got Kyle Seager. There's another lefty in that order. I kind of like him. No love for Segura or Haniger in this spot. I think I would like, maybe some Nelson Cruz at 4.5. I kind of like him. Looking at the Astros side, Ariel Miranda, left-handed pitcher, so we're trying to find some right-handed bats. Got Springer, Altuve, Correa, and Beltran. Stack that. You can stack that, definitely. Houston is a 1 through 5 stackable offense, bro. From Gaddis at the 5 all the way back up to George Springer at the 1. You can definitely look at those guys. Definitely. Maury Gonzalez has been swinging the bat pretty well. His last game out, he did homer. I think we might be take a look at him. He's a switch hitting cat who can play very well. I don't have an issue there. And Musgrove, he's decent at 7K. You can look at him if you don't want to pay up for a guy like Jeff Samardzija or or Marcus Stroman in the spot. You can pay down a little bit because I'm not very afraid. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not very afraid of the Seattle side. I'm just not. The last game on the slate, because it's that 4-game main, is the San Francisco Giants going to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. This is at Chase Field. There is zero chance of rain because it is another domed stadium. We've got the San Francisco Giants sending out Jeff Samardzija. 9.2K is the price point, and I'm not paying that. I'm just not. We've got Robbie Gray for the Arizona Diamondbacks at 8.3. The left-hander looks pretty good there. Looking at the Arizona order, man, you got AJ Pollock, who's been playing fairly well lately. We got David Peralta, Paul Goldsmith, as well as Jake Lamb. All of those guys. This is stackable 1 through 5. Even Yasmani Tomas. You might want to. This is one of the lineups that you can look to some other guys like the 6 through 8. You can check these guys out. Like when it talks about Brandon Drury, Chris Owings, Jeff Mathis. You can look at those guys as well because they're fairly cheap and they can make contact with the ball, especially going against a guy like Jeff Samardzija. He's not an ace. He's not going to mow him down. He's not. On the Houston side, you can look at maybe some on the San Francisco side, Brandon Belt has been playing pretty well lately. Robbie Gray is a left-handed pitcher, so Hernandez at the top of the order can get some consideration, as well as Hunter Pence, maybe some Buster Posey, some Eduardo Nunez. He does have stolen base potential at all times. That's a guy you can look at, and I kind of like the way Brandon Crawford has been playing over the last couple of games, or the start of the season as well. So a lot of good plays in this 4-game slate. Those are going to be the higher dollar tournaments, the ones that you can win, the 15, the 20, the 10 grand. So I know a lot of us are going to be invested in those. Of course, this has been your DFS Guruzum. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Guruzum. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing for me here in the sweatshop, man. My family and I, we appreciate it greatly. If you want to support the show, remember you are supporting the show by giving me those views and those likes on YouTube, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But if you wanted to further support the show, you can hit up the website at www.dfssweatshop.com. Become a member of the family. I will usher you into the best Facebook group online where we teach you not only the ins and outs of DFS as a sport, but we show you how to build your lineups. We show you the tips and tricks that make you a profitable daily fantasy sports player. Also, you can hit me up personally at mauricesimmons95@gmail.com. That's also my PayPal if you wanted to send me a little piece. No issue with that. There's a box over here that says support the show. Go ahead and click that box and do what it tells you to do. Thank you so much for everything. And remember, when you're in the sweatshop, the number one thing I want you to do is keep it 300.